Welcome back to part 3 of the Adobe Premiere Pro Fast Start class. I'm Kevin Keebler, and in this video we'll be learning basic timeline editing. To get started with an edit, you'll first need to create a new timeline sequence by dragging a clip from your project window into the new item icon. This automatically creates a sequence that is formatted to fit the selected clip. Now we can start taking pieces of clips from the source monitor and drop them down into our timeline to start making edits. Within the source monitor, we mark in points and out points to select which part of the clip we'll bring into the timeline. I select I to choose my in point and O to select my out point. Once chosen, you can click and drag the entire clip and bring it down into the timeline. Both your video will show up and your audio. If I Command Z or Control Z to get rid of that, I can also just do video by just selecting this clip, or I can just do audio by selecting the waveform there. The keyboard shortcut to bring in a clip from your source monitor to the timeline is the period key to overwrite, which means that this section will just go straight over this piece. I'll do Control Z, Command Z to undo. If you press the comma key, it will insert the clip in between these two and push this one downstream. Another way to bring clips from my source monitor into my timeline is using what we call 3-point editing. The same way that I mark in and out points in my source monitor, I can mark in points and out points within my timeline. So let's say I just want a clip to go within this space here. Well, I don't need to mark out points. All I need to do is just mark a good in point, click and drag over into my program, and it will fit within the space provided. Okay, now that you have clips from your source monitor down in your timeline, we're going to be using different methods to preview this area. One way is you can drag the playhead and go backwards, forwards, and you can see that the final product is being showed in my program monitor. A better way to do this is to use JKL Navigation. On your keyboard, use the J button, press it once and it will go backwards. Press K to pause. Hit the L key to play forward. K to pause. If you hold down the K button and hold down J, it will play in slow motion backwards. K to pause. If I hold down K and press L, it will go slow motion forward. And then if I hold down K and just tap L, it will go frame by frame forward. This will help you find that perfect place to cut to. Now that I know about JKL Navigation, I can go to where I like the end of a clip. Let's say I want to stop here. I can use the selection tool, which is V on the keyboard, and it's just this cursor. I can use this to drag this clip to shorten it. But you'll see that a gap is created. If I Control Z or Command Z back, I can press Command shortcut B to bring up the ripple edit. It's also located here. Now if I drag and make this shorter, it will get rid of that extra space. Another important tool to know is the razor tool, where I can just cut this clip into two parts, and I can get rid of it by deleting. If I Control Z, if I select it and do Shift and delete, it will ripple delete, and that's another way that you can cut. Two more ways that you can edit in the timeline are called the slip tool, Y, and the slide tool, U. Let's start with the slip tool. I'm going to press Y, and it brings up the slip tool. And what this does is I have this clip in the middle. I love the positioning of these three clips. I don't want to change anything about them, but I don't like the content of this middle clip. With the slip tool, I select the middle clip, and you'll see that there are 4 monitors now in the program window. So on the left is the first frame of my clip, and on the right is the last frame of my clip. So I can drag this left and right to change. With the slide tool, I'll hit U. I just want to slide it either upstream or downstream. So I'm just going to take it and slide it forward like that, or slide it back. So nothing about the clip changes, it just changes position within my overall timeline. The last thing you need to know when editing in the timeline are what are called tracks. So here on the left, you see I have V1 selected, V2. These are all video tracks. A, you guessed it, it's audio. So what these do is they tell Premiere which tracks are active and which aren't. So for example, if I want to put something in video 2 track, I can deselect video 1, select video 2, and then make sure that this video 1 becomes video 2. And anything that I bring from the source monitor down into the timeline using keyboard shortcut, let's say we'll use the overwrite command. Press period, and it will bring it down into video 2, but you'll see that the audio was brought down into audio track 1 because it was selected. If I wanted to change that, I would deselect audio 1, select audio 1 with audio 2. I'll do the same thing, press period, and now it has brought the audio track down into audio 2. So what you'll need to do is keep track of which of these are selected. And if you're having problems, it might be due to your track selection. Also in the tracks, you can turn on the track or off the track. And within the audio, you can mute or solo a track. If you don't want anything to change at all, you like everything, you can also lock. That way no mistakes are made and things are changed when you didn't mean them to be. And that's it for overall basic editing skills. Keep in mind that it takes time to learn all these techniques, and you'll find a workflow that works best for you. In our next video, we'll be covering basic effects.